Welcome to MetalVice in 666. I'm your host, Brian, joined the other host,
Karen.
And if you haven't joined us before for 666, what this is we blabber a lot and sort of trail on and whatnot. So the idea was we'd pick one topic, talk about it for 6 minutes and 66 seconds. We even had a timer in the first ones that,
we don't do that anymore because we went over the timer.
We went over all the time, so it was like bullshit, so whatever. So we did away with that and still kept the sort of the idea the same. So there's short form content or shorter form content of just one topic. And today's topic is sort of one that we were talking about based on the Black Sabbath Back to the Beginning concert we went to, which is that the best show you've ever seen? And so, it's just basically that. Is that show the best show you've ever seen? And I guess I'll pose that question to you.
Pose it to me first. Okay. From a once-in-a-lifetime experience, yes.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Just because, it won't happen again.
Right.
But from best show that I've ever seen, no.
Okay.
I've had better experiences at other shows that are more personal or more like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. That was so much fun, sort of thing. Or like when we were personally talking about it, I mentioned like Open Air 2016, even though that is a festival, not a show, but that's what got us back into music and shows and stuff. And I think that would be one of the best shows that we've ever been to.
For you personally?
For me personally.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would consider like, Wage War at Concord or
really?
like a Whitechapel at House of Blues or something like that, where it's like we had a fantastic fucking experience during the show as like, oh my gosh, that was one of the best shows that I've seen. Or like even seeing Disturbed at the Vic or something
really?
Like that.
Those would be above this for you?
It's all relative.
Yeah.
That's why I'm trying to make the decision or like the discussion is like, it's all relative on like, what would you consider the best show?
Okay. For me, I don't really consider, or I'm lumping, as you said, festivals and one-off shows, because this is a one-off show. I wouldn't consider Back to the Beginning a festival either.
No.
So all of that's just sort of lumped together, like live music experience. Is this the greatest live music experience I've had? I would also say no, it's not the greatest. I do truly believe this is the greatest metal concert of all time, but to me that's different. Like this is the greatest metal concert, but it's not my personal greatest experience, which is kind of weird to say. For me, S&M 2 is my greatest metal concert experience.
I didn't even think about S&M 2.
S&M 2, like because of Metallica, who they are to me, like how they got me into metal, and like the melding. I've talked about this before. The melding of metal and classical, and before I was into metal, I was into classical. So melding those two together with the band that got me into metal. I've always loved the first S&M, and when the second one came out, I was like, there's no fucking way we're going to go to this. You worked your ass off, did so much overtime, and we had some extra money. You're like, we can do this.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck it, let's do it. Let's go to that. So that had just like the emotional impact for me. Like, I don't know, that show to me by far is the best. I thought this would top it, but it didn't. Second for me is my first GA show, my first Slipknot concert with Lamb of God, Shadows Fall. Like that just sort of entrenched me into live music and especially the GA experience of live music. So those two concerts for me were the building blocks of where I come from and sort of my musical journey are founded in those two experiences. The bill is better than both of those combined. Yeah. The experience for this should have been better for both of those. And I could argue it was, but those will have a bigger impact. Those did have a bigger impact on me than this show did.
Yeah.
And I think that's why, to me, this would be like number 3.
Yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. Like there's other shows that, and I didn't even think about S&M 2. That should be up there on my list as well. That was fantastic. But I mean, from a best show standpoint, like I've had better personal experiences where it's like I enjoyed different moments or something better than I did at this Black Sabbath Back to the Beginning. However, there was moments during the Back to the Beginning where I'm like, oh my gosh, we're never going to see this again. Or, oh my gosh, this is amazing to be here. Like seeing Mastodon play, like the first band that played, like I totally like out of my mind, like not out of, I wasn't like going crazy out of my mind, but like I just couldn't process like that it had started, if that made sense.
No, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I said that during our back to the beginning episode, but I agree. Like, this should be probably number one. People are probably going to say, oh my gosh, this is the best show I've ever been to. Or even if you watch the live stream, maybe this is the best, show that they've ever seen, even if they watch it from their couch. But I would disagree, but not in a way of like it was horrible, because it's not.
No, yeah, it's like for you personally, like
Yeah.
the emotional connection you had to other shows was greater than the emotional connection to this show.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what I'm struggling with too. I do firmly believe this was the greatest metal concert of all time.
I would
firmly
agree
believe
with
that.
I would agree with that. Yes.
But was it my greatest experience? Like, that's where I'm struggling with. I think both can be true. I think this can be the greatest metal concert of all time, and I think I can say it was. But I can also say this was not the greatest concert experience I've had. Even though it was the greatest metal concert, it wasn't the greatest experience.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I'm starting to differentiate. And I thought about this a lot because I was like, how can those two things be true?
Yeah.
But in my head, they are.
I think we're both trying to articulate the same thing, where it's like, it was a grand concert.
Right.
No, I mean, it's not going to happen again, probably. But we've had other concerts that have topped it for us personally.
Right.
So.
And as you said, there's once in a lifetime moments during this show that you're never going to see. I am not the biggest Ozzy Osbourne fan in terms of his music, because it's overplayed, and I say this every time I come up. I feel like I have to justify this.
Yeah.
This is a thing, because it should be good music, and it is good music. I don't like it because it's been overplayed, and I've heard it to death. But Mama, I'm Coming Home, that was an extremely emotional.
I'm sure everybody knows that now.
So much emotion out of me, and it's like, I was not expecting, like, fuck, this is bullshit. I shouldn't feel this sad or upset. And then seeing Black Sabbath play for the first time too, right? And just thinking like, this is where these four guys came from, and now they're back here playing their final show together. Like, I was like, fuck, this is heavy, like in an emotional kind of way. And I was like,
yeah, exactly.
I was like, fuck. So like, that is why it's number 3 for me.
Yeah. But I think about it like, okay, so let me pose this to you, because this just came to my mind. A lot of times when we talk about like the greatest shows, like when we are talking to other people who have no clue who we are, we will bring up S&M 2, or we'll bring up Headbangers Boat, we'll bring up, like Open Air or something, something like that, or like seeing Metallica in Spain, that was pretty fucking awesome, like stuff like that. But now I think this will be on our list, where it's like, we might mention that we've been to Back to the Beginning. But then again, we're kind of on the fence on like how many people do we tell, but
I'm still struggling because I don't want to sound like we're gloating type thing, right?
No.
Oh, well, we were at Back to the Beginning.
But that's how I used to feel about S&M 2.
Oh, really?
Like, oh, well, we made it, or we were able to go to S&M 2.
Yeah.
And I would justify it and be like, but we were the last row in the stadium against the wall. Like,
yeah, I guess I felt the same way. I would only bring it up to people who had like the S&M 2 shirt on. Like, oh, did you go to the show? And if they said yes, and it's like, so did we type thing.
Yeah. But I always felt like I had to justify it like we were the last row. Like we weren't like down on the floor or anything like that.
It's interesting. I wonder if this will come up. I'm sure it will come up in conversation when we're out and about for sure.
I mean, we'll wear the shirts, so it'll come up at
for
some
sure.
point.
Yeah, it will. Any case, though, don't get us wrong, this was a phenomenal show.
Yeah.
It's going to be up there at the top of the list for me. It's just not the top because of those two other shows, as I mentioned. Those are sort of what laid the foundation for who I am in many ways, and especially the music I enjoy and the way I enjoy music, which is live, is because of these shows and these bands. So yeah, those had more of an impact on me than this would. I'm glad we got to do it. Don't get me wrong. If this was earlier in my life,
I was thinking about that
different
too.
as well, right?
Like we met a kid who this was his first show. They were from outside Dublin, and this is his first concert. And it's like, well, everything else is going to be downhill from here, because like I can't believe this would be his first show.
Honestly, if this was my first show, nothing I think would ever top this. But because of those, the road that got me to this show,
And
is
everybody
what it
else would
is.
probably be the same way. I mean, not everybody else. I mean, some people, this is going to be like the top of the top
Yeah.
for them. But I mean, everybody has their own personal experiences,
Right.
or, you know, like maybe they saw Black Sabbath at the Crown or something like that, and it's like that was the best show they've ever seen. So I
Right.
mean, it's all relative.
It's all relative to yourself
Yeah.
and whatnot. The important thing is you go check out live music.
Yep.
So get out there and see the next show. It might be the best show ever. It might not. You don't know until you see it. So go see some live music.
Bye.